Hey everybody, I'm Christopher Walsh. Please feel free to call me Christopher or Dr. Walsh or Professor Walsh or whatever you're most comfortable with. My one caveat is if you call me Chris, I won't be offended, but I'll tend to think you're talking about someone else. So Christopher is just great. I'm really happy to have this opportunity to introduce myself. I want to talk a little bit about my academic background, about my experiences in urban and rural Oregon, and then just a tiny bit about what we've got lined up for you in LeGrand when we start the course. So I am an assistant professor at Eastern Oregon University. I teach general and environmental chemistry. A little bit about my academic background. I have a bachelor's degree in chemistry from the College of William and Mary in Virginia. My master's degree is in atmospheric science and oceanography from Oregon State University, right here in Corvallis, where I am now. And my PhD as well from Oregon State University in analytical chemistry. I spent 3 years as a visiting professor at Reed College, so I have a little experience living in Portland before moving on to EOU, which is where I am now. My research focuses on the transport and ultimate fate of atmospheric pollutants. That means we release pollutants into the atmosphere. What happens to them and where do they wind up? What's their final reservoir? You might be surprised to learn that for a lot of compounds, the final resting place for them, as it were, can be in a very remote ecosystem, the kind of ecosystem that we would think of as being untouched by human activity, like high altitude and high latitude locations. But it turns out that's really not the case. The atmospheric transport can bring a lot of compounds to these remote ecosystems. And also the transport process can result in them being changed in chemical form. So the ultimate reservoir can be of a compound that's in either a more or less toxic form than how the pollutant was originally emitted. So that's a little bit about my research. A little bit quickly about my background in urban and rural environments. I actually grew up in a very urban environment on the East Coast in Wilmington, Delaware, before moving out to Oregon in the 90s. So I had a very urban childhood, but since then I've spent the last 25 years or so living in small town Oregon, either Corvallis or LeGrand, with the exception of, like I said, 3 years living in Portland. So I've had exposure to a lot of different parts of the state. I'm new to LeGrand. I've just been there for over a year, but I've already discovered a lot of really wonderful things around Union and Walla County, and I'm really excited about the activities we have lined up for you all and the site visits we have planned, and I'm really looking forward to sharing what I found with all of you. So that's me. I'm Christopher. I look forward to seeing all your videos and meeting you all in person soon. Thanks.